In this video, we will demonstrate and walk you through the 8 steps that you will take every day when operating your Highland 1501 Breeze embroidery machine. First, we will load our embroidery design via our USB into our design library. To do this, I will take my USB and insert it into either of the 2 USB ports located on the right side of the control panel. Then I will enter my Design Management tab and tap the USB icon on the right side of the screen to load my embroidery design. Once my USB pops up in the window, I will tap it to enter it, and then I will need to find the folder that my design is located in. I will enter that folder by double tapping it. And once I find the design I'd like to upload, I will tap it one time to select it, and then tap the orange icon with the flower and the red arrow pointing towards it on the right side of the screen. This will then pop up a window where it will tell me which design number this design is going to be in my design library. I will tap the check mark to confirm it, and tap the arrow going out the door to return back to my design library where I will see my new design. To select this design for embroidery, I will tap it one time to select it, and then move on to my design parameters panel, where I can rotate my design, scale it accordingly, and adjust other parameters of this design. For this design specifically, I do not need to adjust any parameters, but we will cover this more in depth in our design parameters video. So I will move on to my design color sequence panel, where I can set the color changes for this design. To do this, I will use the printout that comes from my embroidery design software, which will tell me which colors need to be assigned to which part of a design. For this design, I know I need to have my first color change use needle number 4. So I will tap my first color change and then tap tile number 4 on the right side of the screen. I will then go through and do this for the rest of the design. Once my color changes have been set, I'm ready to move on to our home screen, where I will need to release the previous design we were working on by tapping the blue icon on the lower left-hand corner. Then I will hit the check mark to cancel embroidery. Then I will tap the red icon in the lower left-hand corner to confirm my new design onto the screen. The control panel will then always ask me which size hoop I am using. For this design, I'm using the largest hoop that I have, so I will find that hoop here on the screen, tap it one time to select it, and hit the check mark. You'll see the pantograph move to the center point of that design. We'll then take my hoop and load it onto my machine. And if I need to position my fabric in a place other than the center point of this hoop, I can use the 4 directional keys located on the right side of the screen. Once I have it positioned where I need it, ready to do a trace. This will ensure that our design isn't going to go beyond the borders of our hoop. First, we will do a border check, which will float around the outer borders of this design. As the machine's doing a border check, I'm watching to make sure the needle that's in sewing position isn't going to run into the sides of our hoop. Border check looks great. So now I'll do an outline check, which is going to float around the specific outline of this design, showing me exactly where it's going to be placed in our fabric. Again, as it's doing an outline check, I'm watching to make sure the needle that's in sewing position isn't going to run into the edges of our hoop. Our outline check looks great as well, so I will hit the check mark to go back to our home screen. And we have now completed the 8 steps, so we are ready to begin embroidering our design. And we can hit the Start button on the bottom of the control panel.